Hello and welcome to Did You Know Gaming Extra. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at secrets which were clearly inappropriate for the target demographic of a game. Just as a warning, some information in this episode may, unsurprisingly, be inappropriate. When a development studio hires its staff to help create a game, they may not be fully aware of the humor of the individuals they hire. Game development is a fun experience for many devs, and so they use their time making games to have a little bit of fun. After THQ Nordic announced that they would be partnering with Nickelodeon to remaster several past licensed titles, it didn't take long for some bizarre information to surface. Programmer Chris Glass tweeted, "Want another fun fact about my time at THQ? I'm not sure which SpongeBob game it is, but it's one of the PS2 ones that we made. The texture for the palm tree fronds? It's actual feces." When asked if this was for a joke or convenience, Chris revealed that the artist who made the texture claimed it was the exact texture he needed, which in itself was humorous. Chris revealed to us that the game in question was Heavy Iron Studios' SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. The development house worked on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube releases of the title, while different games were made by other companies for other consoles under the same name. By extracting all textures from the game, we uncovered what we believed to be the texture in question. After asking Chris for his input, he stated, "Oh boy, that's definitely it, because, above all else, that's a photo rather than being hand-drawn work." Of course, other kid-friendly games have questionable content. The famous names attached to Discworld might be known for their adult humor, but the games were certainly not just intended for an adult audience, including bright cartoon imagery and slapstick comedy. Based on the titular Terry Pratchett novels, the games featured the voice of Monty Python's Eric Idle in the role of the lead character, Rincewind. Only present in the game's PlayStation release if the player uses the action button on the left eye relative to the screen of this character, then his right, and the same for this character in the back, and lastly uses the look action on the Amazon's left nipple, Rincewind will state the following.
"I want to be the first person in a game to say fuck."
Paul Carpenter, one of the conversion programmers to port the game to the PlayStation, claims to be responsible for the Easter egg. He claims that the line of dialogue comes from a recording session which was trimmed. After the line, Eric Idle apparently said, "What? Arnold Schwarzenegger already said it? Well, f*** off Arnold. Fuck Arnold. Fuck you. Fuck. He also mentioned that the two characters who had to be clicked were Angela Sutherland and Greg Barnett, two of the managing directors of Perfect Entertainment. This was also referenced in the game's sequel with its own Easter egg. Using the suffragester on Rincewind 12 times, then entering the stone circle, will cause Rincewind to travel back to the start of the first Discworld game and speak to his past self.
"I want to be the first person in a game to say Been there, done that. Let's leave well enough alone." "What do you mean I've already said it?" "All right then, I want to be the first person in a sequel to say
These Easter eggs actually have quite some history. In 2005, an internet user known as Akrill found the lines in the English subtitle data of both games. Looking for answers, he posted about them on a forum dedicated to the Discworld games, receiving a response from Dave Johnston, the game's lead programmer. Johnston said, "To date, no one, that I know of, has ever found either of the Eric Idle says cheats that I put into Discworld 1 and 2. Someone's PC crashed while running Discworld 1 and it started playing all the sound bites end to end. They listened to the lot and were amazed when Eric Idle spoke the infamous phrase. Result, one unhappy publisher, one embarrassed lead programmer." Johnston also provided information on how to reveal these pieces of dialogue, though he was incorrect with his information. It would be several more years until the Easter eggs were finally uncovered, almost 2 decades after the first game was published. The lines may be in reference to the live televised funeral service of Monty Python member Graham Chapman, in which fellow Python John Cleese stated,
"It's all right, Cleese," he was saying, "you're very proud of being the very first person ever to say shit on British television. I want you to become the first person ever at a British memorial service to say fuck."
Though hidden dialogue in some games can be found while playing the title, one Japanese-exclusive Famicom game included a hidden message from a designer which can only be seen in the unused graphical data. Ganso Saiyuuki, Super Monkey Daibouken, is mostly known for being a very poor game based on the Chinese legend of the monkey hero, Journey to the West. The game's designer, however, was possibly more interested in telling his own story. Looking in the game's data, the following can be found. Translated, it reads, Designer, Kaoru Nakajima, 26 years old, born 1960 in Toyokawa City, Aichi Prefecture. I wanna lick some pussy, I want a perverted miss, I like vagina and the clitoris. And now it's time for this episode's random piece of trivia. Today we've picked out a piece from Tekken 6. The game featured a number of alternate costumes for characters, with one being a pre-order bonus outfit given away exclusively at GameStop. The Yoshimitsu outfit has the character in a yellow keikogi, or gi, donning a giant Pac-Man on the back, replacing his swords with cardboard tubes. This outfit is based on the alter ego of Jonathan Gabriel from the webcomic series Penny Arcade, the Cardboard Tube Samurai. Did You Know Gaming Extra is supported by some lovely people on Patreon. Without their help, we would definitely not be covering trivia like this. So if you want to help us get past YouTube demonetization, be sure to check it out in the description below.
In the first age, Chad Barnet, Trevor Wooten, and Corey Nelson fought in the first battle. When the shadows first lengthened, Mr. Spectre and an erring monkey stood. Jed Stoddle and Hector Amarillo feasted on the carcasses of those lost, burned by the embers of synesthetics. Malcavio's soul, blistered by the fires of Maximilian Summers and tainted beyond ascension. Robert Cox chose the path of perpetual torment, and Vitus Vanus, in his ravenous hatred, found no peace. And with boiling blood, Ethan Ryback scoured the Umbriel plains of Free-2-2, seeking vengeance against Mike Sinister and Jordan Ferrari, who had wronged him. Jank wore the crown of the Freemaster Gamers, and Bandion, who had tasted the bite of his sword, named him your boy Beowulf.
Special thanks to Chris Glass for helping us find the sponge poop. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode of Did You Know Gaming Extra, be sure to hit the like button, and if you haven't yet, you can always hit the subscribe button. That way you'll see all of our videos as they go live. You could also tap the bell and get extra notifications. I don't really understand how YouTube works anymore, but click all the buttons and hope for the best, I guess.